Okay, we're going to start second part of this screening. The second block of films consists of Ethereal Rhythms, Everything Rhymes from Brecth Van Hout, No Home Movies by Amailla, False Witness by Flu Yutingzhu, and Who Was Here by Evi Estamu. Flu and Evi, they couldn't be here, but we would like to applaud Brecth and Amailla. They are here. And we would like if Brecth and Amailla could introduce their works.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Brecth, I'm from Belgium, Bruges. This is my master project that I'm showing, so I graduated with it. It's a diary movie, it's about my daily fantasies and delusions and daydreams almost. So I invite you to explore these dreams and rhythms with me, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hello, I'm Amailla. My film is No Home Movies. Thanks to the festival, thanks to the public for being here. My film is my diploma's film from La Femis as part of the editing department. It's a film that tries to create a link between archives and IA, and I try to create a dialogue through IA characters. And that's it.
Thank you. We have a video from Flo and Evi. Maybe we can watch them now.
Hello everyone at the Plus Ring Film Festival. My name is Flo Yutingzhu. I'm sorry I can't be there in person with you, but I'm excited to introduce my film False Witness. This short experimental work follows a virtual character investigating her own disappearance by digging through a series of redacted, modified, and obsolete moving images, some of which have been processed by AI. For certain shots, I used an AI model called Style Transfer, which I believe is now considered a vintage model. But instead of transferring artistic styles, I asked it to transfer human figures, shapes, and forms from photographs onto footage of animals or empty landscapes. And I find the results fascinating, as if I was able to witness human presence emerging out of places that it didn't belong. And I hope you find the film as curious and unsettling as I did. Enjoy the screening.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me and thank you for being here today. The film you're about to watch started as part of my master thesis in the University of the Aegean in Greece. It is a portrait of my father, who was born in 1949 in a small village in Epirus and came of age in 1967, the year the dictatorship took over in Greece. The film follows his journey from a difficult and impoverished childhood to early adulthood, his military service, and his conscription in 1974 before his move to the city. So the creative process of the film lasted about 1 year and a half, and it includes training of AI programs with the photographic archival material I found, interviews I had with my father, and testimonies of relatives in order to help the AI gather all the necessary information to find its own voice and hopefully be able to fill some gaps I detected in my family history. I hope you enjoy the film and feel free to contact me if you want to discuss it further.
Enjoy the screening and stay after the screening for the Q&A with the directors. Thank you, Brecth and Amailla, for joining us.
Well, thanks again for being here. First of all, I would like to ask you directly about the question of materiality, because in both works there are some will to find this texture. Before Marco was who talks about nostalgia, and I don't know if there are some sense of nostalgia that who move you to explore these textures, and I don't know if you would like to.
That's also why I used VHS. So my whole movie is burnt on a VHS tape, because I really wanted to feel like the old home videos that I had when I was a child, because it's a diary that I kept. So I had written notes, kept photos with me to talk to my doctor about what I was imagining when I was, delusioned, or when I was experiencing delusions. So I wanted to feel, I wanted my movie to feel like this subconsciousness, this mental space. It had to visualize it. And so I chose AI to make these textures, because I feel like AI works like our brain. When I ask the audience or you to imagine an apple, then you think about the apples that you have seen, but also the images of apples that you have seen, and you create an image of an apple. And that's why I chose AI. I wanted to all these notes that I had and all these daydreams that I had, I want it to visualize this mental space, or my mental space in this case.
Can you precise the question?
Sorry?
Can you precise in French?
We switch in French as well, if it's possible.
Est-ce que tu peux traduire en français ça?
La question, c'est qu'il y a dans vos deux travaux, il y a un goût pour la question de la matérialité. En fait, le début des deux films peut être presque pareil, parce qu'il y a une chose, non, le B à caisse et la texture du vidéo qui est dans le début. Et en fait, dans les deux cas, il y a aussi une image qui est presque pareille aussi, qui est quelque chose de fantasmatique qui apparaît dans l'image, dans cette image avec cette matérialité. Et alors, donc, je voudrais, on se demande si les goûts pour les matérialités, l'exploration de la matérialité, les textures, c'était au début de dans votre travail.
I will switch in English to respond. No, because the origin of the film was a constraint, which was the archives. I didn't choose to use archives at first. So I had to think of what story I could tell with archives, which were not mine, because I didn't want it to use mine. So the IA came long after the reflection. This is what I didn't tell first when I introduced. I had to build a story using at least 50% of archives on my film. It was the rule. And I decided to use family archives because I found it by chance on the net. And I watched hours of these home movies of people I didn't know. And what interested me in these pictures was that people through times film the same thing. We all film the same vacation, the same birthday and everything. So I found it weird because when I thought about my own archives, I I saw the same thing, and I told myself that that wasn't really me, and I kind of forgot of what I was watching these archives. So I started a reflection about this, and this is why IA came, because I thought like we were always talking about IA stealing our images, and appropriate our images. And I was questioning about if IA stole our most personal images, could it replace us or not? And by watching these home movies, I was telling myself that something was missing in these images, because there is everything we don't film and we don't show. So this is the origin of the reflection.
And yeah, we can continue unless there are some questions from the audience that I can see right now, but okay, feel free to take part in the conversation. I would love to continue with Amailla concerning the choice of the point of view of a machine in approaching these archives. Can you tell us more, how did you develop this in terms of narration? What it allowed you, what this choice allowed you to do with the images, also in terms of aesthetic manipulation of these images?
At the beginning, it was not. I wanted to make a dialogue between two characters, like a real one, a real human, and then an I. But I didn't have the time to build this, so I chose the IA because I think it was an original point of view that built the consciousness of an IA. I need to think of the question. I think it helps to. I'm a complete amateur in the field of IA, so I don't know anything, and I just experiment with the very empirical experiences. So it helps me to imagine images I would never imagine by myself. I don't say it replaces images, but I think like the circle one, I couldn't imagine by myself this kind of images, and IA helps me to push this my imagination, where it wouldn't go.
Thank you. And I would love to develop a bit more on this topic with Brecth, considering the fact that in your film, as you said before, you tried to recreate these VHS aesthetics, which is quite different from what we usually see as cinema made with AI, that tends to be very precise, very round, very, I don't know how to say, but very precise and very intense, and tries to be as realistic as possible. And you take totally another path, choosing these dreamy, blurred images. Can you tell us how it was to work with these generative AI tools to make them do what you wanted? Because I imagine that maybe it was not like the first response of the tools.
The aesthetic came from sketches that I drew. So there's a whole version of this movie where I drew every frame, and I used these drawings with AIs to ask them to make it realistic. Then I quickly felt that it wanted to make a clean picture. Mm-hmm. But it failed at the point that I was making the movie. It failed at that. Right now, it would succeed. It would make a 4K resolution image of the drawing that I made. But at that point, it was just premature. And so I asked it to make a lower resolution and to make me feel at home. And so I remembered all the home videos that I saw from other people, from myself, and I was like, that's the videos that I care about. So let's make this movie something that I can care about in a few years and have it like this nostalgic aesthetic. And that's also has the layer of time, thinking about time and thinking about keeping all the details that you maybe would forget. Like, I lived in Brussels in the European quarter, and I would wake up and with my pajamas I would go to the store, but I would see all these people in suits, and now I will always remember it because it's the beginning of my movie. It's the beginning of my day in this movie. So I love that I can see all the details of my days in Brussels back in the movie.
And sorry, Margot, just one question about that. How did you get the colors of all the?
The colors
are one
are
of the things that for me is fascinating on your work. How did you get these colors? Because I don't know if you sketch it as well, or
it's also manipulation. So the colors are color graded also. Or sometimes colored in with After Effects, but also the VHS burning helps a lot. You create a lot of new colors with it, so that was an advantage, that a serendipity. Yeah.
Do we have questions from the audience? Maybe, don't be shy. They will love if you have questions. There is one there.
Hi, I've got a question for Amailla. I'm sorry if I pronounce it so badly. I would like to ask you what's the meaning of the word I? So it was like point of view in your film. I would like to know more about that.
I think I is a machine, but it's also, you can identify it as a human. So this is why I just brouiller les points de vue. Brouiller les points de vue.
Confusing the point of view?
Yeah. So this is just that. It was a long reflection about this, but I did this. Because the what I didn't it's the voice is my voice, but I just changed it with IA also.
There's another question there.
Thank you so much. That was very enjoyable. Out of complete ignorance about the creative process, this is a question for both. What I know about lots of filmmakers is that they have a very specific image in their mind before they start creating, and they want exactly that to be sort of reflected in the final production. And I wanted to ask you, is it something like that, or does it become sort of, is it a co-creation that you start working and you see what you can do? It gives you different options. Working with the tools give you some options, and then you choose and mix some of them. Or is it you have a really specific thing in your mind, and then with a story, with the storytelling, and then you want it to be exactly as you thought?
So, making a movie like this one is starting with an idea, and I had an idea to make a diary movie, and I didn't know how to do it or how to start. But then you make choices, and it's not these choices that make the movie, it's the mistakes and the surprises that come with these choices. And you have to play with these circumstances that just come by making mistakes or trying things for the first time. It's almost like falling in love, just getting surprised by these emotions when you were not expecting it, and then you hope to capture these things. You hope to keep it, and you keep it in a rhythm in the movie. You make it a character. Everything that you like, you make it a character, and you make it come back, and you try to make a story of everything that you experience. Yeah.
And for me, it was very difficult to write this film because I tried to write with a screenwriter, like a classic film, but I couldn't do it because when I was making tests, everything, it was random. So I couldn't write the film because I didn't know what would happen in terms of images. So it was really hard, and moreover, I'm a film editor at the origin, so I'm used to work with existing images, and that was very hard for me to rethink my practice of editing because I had no images to make the film. So the film, it was a good thing to I don't know how to say it, but it was quite difficult to write the film, and the film was built during the editing, and it was very empiric, you know. I put an image and then I try another, but it doesn't work. So I try another image, I test, and it's always like this. I'm not used to work like this.
I think that our time is over, and so I would love to thank Amailla and Brecth for sharing their films with us. And before closing,
recordeu que... I switched to Catalan, sorry. Recordeu que demà ens veiem, continuem, això no acaba, tot el contrari, els processos creatius podrem seguir profunditzant demà, tant amb la presència d'ells com amb la presència d'altres pel·lícules fora de competició i també els seus directors i directores que ens podran explicar de prop els processos creatius. Així que és el campus, recordar-vos que ens traslladem de nou al campus de Poble Nou per seguir aquesta segona jornada del fest i els workflows, els processos creatius pel matí, també a l'auditori. Em deixo alguna més, Margot? No?
I live a la nit, que no us podeu perdre. I, bueno, tanquem?
Moltes gràcies. Anem ja cap a dormir i descansar.
Thank you.